Hey everyone, I'm here to teach you how to use your DGP notes. Wait, what's DGP? I'm glad you asked. DGP is daily grammar practice. And so I'm just going to explain how we're going to use our notes, and the benefit of this and why you want to have it is because you're going to be able to use your notes on the test. Yes, there will be grammar tests. And if you don't have your notes printed and annotated, it might be a little difficult. We could do Cami also, but the issue is with Cami, when you take your test, there's going to be a lockdown browser. And that lockdown browser is not going to allow you to access your Cami annotated notes. So please follow along, and I'm going to show you all the cheat codes. So what is DGP? Daily Grammar Practice. How does it even work? So on any given week, we're going to start out with one sentence for the entire week. And we're going to use that sentence and do different things with it. For instance, on Monday, what are we looking for? Parts of speech. And then when we get to Tuesday, you're going to look for different sentence parts and phrases. Wednesday, we're going to look for clauses and sentence type. Hey, I know where clause is in the North Pole. Okay. Y'all don't think that's funny? That's cool. All right. Anyway, Thursday is usually everyone's favorite day because it's like super easy. And on Thursday, we look for punctuation and capitalization. And then Friday, sometimes it seems difficult, but once you get it, I promise you're going to understand it so much better and it's going to become easy to you. So on Friday, we do diagramming. Now, sometimes school might only be 4 days or 3 days a week because we have a holiday or something. So there may be days where we combine 2 of the days of DGP, okay? For instance, Wednesday and Thursday are short days. So if we have a short week, we might do Monday on a Tuesday, do Tuesday on a Wednesday, and then Thursday, combine Wednesday and Thursday together, and Friday do the diagramming. This also could be if we don't have school on a Friday, we could do Monday on Monday, Tuesday, and on Wednesday do Thursday and Friday. So let's get to these notes. I'm going to switch screens. All right, I switched screens. And so I have the notes up on Cami just so everyone can see. And hopefully you have the notes printed on paper. And it would be best if you have a highlighter or some color pencils, but you want to have some different colors, okay? Because we're going to do a lot of different things. Actually, I can show you what our notes will look like. If you see right here, when we're done, we're going to have a key at the top of our page. And a key is basically like a legend, something that tells you what everything means. So these are called cheat codes for me. We're going to see that what I've highlighted, that's what we're looking for. If you see a red underline, that's going to show you the function. Letter M is going to show you if something can be a modifier when we do Tuesday, because remember on Tuesday we're looking for sentence parts and phrases. And then if you see a box around something, that means a word is given to you, so you don't even have to try and figure out the answer. You can look in your notes and the answer is right there. All right? So this is what we'll end up with, our final product. Back to this. All right, everyone, please get your highlighter or whatever color you want to use. And here we go. So on Monday, once again, we're looking for parts of speech. The first thing that we want to do is highlight. What are we looking for? Nouns. So I'm going to go and get my tool markup. Okay. And, oh wait, is that the right tool, guys? I think it's the one I want to use. No, it's not. Hold on. There it is. A freehand highlighter. Okay. So we're looking for nouns. Oh, I'm going to go with the box highlighter. All right, let's scroll. Well, you guys can go down your page. What's the next thing we're looking for, everyone? Pronouns. And notice next to noun, we have a lowercase n and a capital N. Lowercase n's are going to be used to label common nouns. A capital N will be used to label proper nouns. So next for pronoun, P-R-O, that's how we're going to label pronouns in a sentence. Remember, we'll have one sentence for the whole week. All right, after nouns and pronouns, what are we looking for? Adjectives. Awesome. Next, let's go to the next page. Adverbs. And remember, the parentheses is telling you how to label. After adverbs, prepositions. I think you guys get the point. We're going to highlight these main little headings of the parts of speech. So conjunction would be a part of speech. Then we're going to get interjections, verbs, and really when it comes down to verbs, you know that we have different types of verbs. There's 3 types, so hold off on doing anything with those. Okay, this right here, do not highlight tenses because you're going to attach a tense to the verb. Okay, so let's hold off on that. And then the last part of speech on Monday would be verbals. Okay, so now that we have all of our parts of speech highlighted, the next thing that we're going to do is let's get the function. So I'm going to choose red. You can choose whatever color you have. But once again, I do recommend switching up colors. If you don't have colors to switch up, maybe you can just use a line, and that would be great. So the way I'm going to do it here in Cami, I'm going to get my drawing tool. Or no, I'm going to actually choose a shape. Let me find my shapes. And for my shape, I'm going to choose a line, and I want to make this line red. Okay, so anyway, how do nouns function? Well, they function to identify a person, place, thing, or idea. All right, pronouns, what are they doing? They are taking the place of a noun. Let's scroll to adjectives or flip the page, go to the bottom of our page. And adjectives, what do they do? How do they function? Well, they modify nouns, and they also can modify pronouns because pronouns take the place of nouns. Moving on. Adverbs, they're going to modify adjectives. They also could modify verbs. And then they also could modify other adverbs, like very easily. We got 2 adverbs back to back. Prepositions. What do prepositions do? How do they function? Well, they're going to show a relationship between a noun or a pronoun to some other word in the sentence. Conjunctions. Conjunctions function to join words, phrases, and clauses. What do interjections do? They're going to express emotion. And that's all they're doing. They don't have any other kind of connection to the sentence. And you guys know verbs. What do verbs do, everyone? Yep, that's it. They show action. And they also can help to make a statement. Last thing we have, our last part of speech, verbals. These are different. It's not necessarily a function, but verbals are words that, words formed from a verb, but they're going to act like something else. They might act like a noun, they might act like an adjective, or they might act like an adverb. So they're functioning as something else. All right, cool. Let's go back to the top. And remember, we're only on Monday. We could go through and do all these same things, and we will eventually for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. All right, so on Monday, nouns. Let's see here. Next thing that we can annotate, let's do a box because I'm in my shapes already. I am going to choose this purple color. So you may want to switch up the color that you're using, or you may want to just use a box if you don't have other colors. So when I say a word given to you, you're going to have a sentence, and all pronouns are given to you. So we're going to put a box there. What do I mean by they're given to you? Well, let's look here. We have I, you, he, she, it, we, you, all those words. I'm not going to box all of those, but I'm going to box pronouns because if you see any of these words in your sentence, what are you going to label them? You're going to label them PRO for pronoun. We're also going to label them in some other ways, but I'll get to that too. But a pronoun is the first way that we label these words that are given to us, okay? It'll make more sense when we do a sentence if you're confused. Let's see. Oh, this one is so awesome. This one is like really easy to remember. So we're going to put a box around articles, because articles are adjectives always, but there are 3 articles, and these are always adjectives. Whenever you see a, an, or the, however you like to pronounce it, the or the, whenever you see any of those 3 words, that means it's an adjective, and you're going to label it ART instead of ADJ. You're going to label it as an article. Let's think about these words just for a second. A, an, and the or the, these are number words. What I mean by number words, if I say I have a book, how many books do I have? 1. If I say I want to eat an apple, how many apples do I want to eat? 1. If I say, could you please grab the broom, how many brooms are you grabbing? 1. So you see how articles are number words, a and the. Anytime you see those in your sentence, go ahead and write above it ART. Okay? Awesome. Let's move on to the next page, see if there's more cheat codes. Okay, here's another one. Look right here. Not and never are always adverbs. Okay? So anytime you see not or never in your sentence, you'll never get it wrong. Okay, whatever. You get the point. Not and never are always adverbs. You're going to label them ADV. Let's keep going. This one right here. If I could, please. I need your help. Everyone, please, please. Let's start right here at the second bullet under prepositions. I need everyone to read these, but we want to try and read at the same time, at the same pace. Ready? Okay, look right here under prepositions. Begin. Across, after, against, around, at, before, below, between, by, during, except, for, from, in, of, off, on, over, since, through, to, under, until, with, according to, because of, instead of. Oh, wait, there's even more, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and put a big old box around all of these. You see it kind of ran into that line, but you guys know what's going on. It's cool. Maybe I can adjust it a little bit. That would be nice. Cool. All right. So basically what I know now, I didn't adjust it very well, guys. I'm sorry. But basically what I know now is that if I see any of these words in my sentence, it could be a preposition. Not always. The reason it can't always be because sometimes these words might function as something else. But the way you know that they're a preposition is if they function to show a relationship. So if you see any of these words and it's showing a relationship to something else in the sentence, then you label it PREP. Moving on. Okay, let's see what else is given to us. Now, we're going to also, I guess I could, I didn't do this, but I guess I could also put a box right here around this word prepositions just to help remind us, okay? Anyway, next, let's put a box around the word conjunctions. All these words are given to us. We have different types of conjunctions. But by show of hands, how many of you have ever heard of fanboys? Yeah, I got a lot of fans and them boys. Okay, no, not that kind. Okay. A fanboy is an acronym. It stands for and, nor, but, or, yet, so. Anytime I see those words in my sentence, if they're joining words, phrases, and clauses, hey, that's a cheat code. It's given to me. We also have this long list right here. We have some more right here. I don't want to go through and box all of those. That's why we just box conjunction. So if you see any of these conjunctions in your sentence, you can go ahead and label them by the type they are. We have coordinating conjunctions, subordinating conjunctions, correlative conjunctions, noun clause identifiers, and conjunctive adverbs, okay? So you use what's in the parentheses next to the type to label it if you see it in your sentence. Moving on. All right, interjections. These are not given to us. That's okay. Verbs, let's see. Oh, we got some verbs given to us. So as I said before, there are 3 types of verbs: action, linking, and helping verbs. Let's see what's given to us. No actions are given to us, but linking verbs. Let's check this out. I'm going to go ahead and put a box right here because all of these, notice it says can be. That doesn't mean they always are. And the reason it can be, okay, they link words together. But if I look at helping verbs, you'll see some of these same words can also be helping verbs. Okay? So it depends on how it functions. If it's linking words together and you see one of these words, then you label it LV. But if it's helping an action or helping a linking verb, all right, then you label it HV, okay, because it's helping, all right? Moving on. All those are given to us. Next, we are looking for... Actually, while we're here, I'm going to change up the color of my box and put it like this to show that these are tenses. They go with verbs. Anytime you do an action verb or a linking verb attached to tense. And you know what? My box got out of hand. I'm going to try it one more time. Let's try this again. Okay. Okay, I guess I should have closed that drop-down menu. Thank you for your patience with me. All right, I'm going to try. Okay. You shouldn't have the same issues I'm having if you're doing it on paper. Okay, last time to get this. And remember, this doesn't mean it's a cheat code. This is just saying attach a tense to helping, I said that wrong, excuse me. Attach a tense to action and linking verbs. Moving on. Let's see, are any verbals given to us? No cheat codes there. It's okay. So that right there, we pretty much did a lot of Monday. The only thing we didn't label on Monday is what can be a modifier, but we'll wait until we annotate Tuesday's notes. So if you were confused about annotating is just making notes on your notes, okay? In this case, that's all we did, we make notes. So we made notes that were cheat codes. I'm going to put the key on the screen, and I'd like you to copy the key, and we can practice doing a sentence for Monday. So let me put the key on the... There we go. When I say key, I'm talking about this part right here. So go ahead and copy this. This would be a great time to pause the recording.